oral questions. Questions orales. The honourable member for Halifax.
A dit qu'il était fou de réglementer les émissions de GRS, une politique qu'il a pourtant promise depuis 7 ans. Sa politique économique qui dépend uniquement des cours de pétrole sur les marchés mondiaux est un échec. Les provinces prennent leurs responsabilités malgré l'inaction du fédéral. Les emplois dans le secteur des énergies vertes dépassent ceux du secteur pétrolier. Alors, est-ce que les conservateurs vont s'excuser d'avoir failli à leurs obligations et d'affaiblir notre économie?
Secretary Parliamentary.
Speaker, to be clear, the Prime Minister said Canada would not take unilateral action to regulate the oil and gas sector. This is a North American issue that needs a North American solution. We have always said, Mr. Speaker, we would like to work collaboratively with the United States on reducing greenhouse gas emissions for the oil and gas sector. And Mr. Speaker, Canadians need to know we're the first government in Canadian history to reduce greenhouse gas emissions, and we're doing so without the NDP and Liberals' job-killing carbon tax.
The honourable member for Halifax.
Well, it was the policy of the government until it wasn't, and it was the policy of the government on Monday until the Prime Minister said it was crazy. But in February 2013, the then Minister of Environment said, "We are now well into and very close to finalizing regulations for the oil and gas sector." So can the Conservatives tell us if that was true? Or were they deliberately misleading Canadians when they said that?
The honourable Parliamentary Secretary to the Minister of the Environment.
Mr. Speaker, as I said, we are the first government in Canadian history to reduce greenhouse gas emissions, and we're doing so without the NDP and Liberal carbon tax. Given the current conditions of the oil and gas sector, it would be reckless economic policy to unilaterally impose greenhouse gas emission regulations and penalties on the oil and gas sector. This is an integrated industry, Mr. Speaker, and regulations of greenhouse gas emissions in the oil and gas sector must be done so on a continental basis. Our government is reducing greenhouse gas emissions while preserving, protecting, and creating Canadian jobs.
The honourable member for Halifax.
Continental basis. Okay, so this is a simple question, Mr. Speaker. Can the Prime Minister or anyone over there on the government side tell us the last time that he spoke with President Barack Obama about creating harmonized oil and gas regulations to reduce greenhouse gas emissions?
The honourable Parliamentary Secretary.
Mr. Speaker, let's compare our policies to the reckless policies of the NDP. What they would like to do is put our oil and gas sector at an economic disadvantage compared to the United States. Mr. Speaker, they want to gamble with 275,000 Canadian jobs that rely on the oil and gas sector. We're not going to put Canadians out of work, and we're not going to put in a job-killing carbon tax.